How we doing, guys? Welcome to the preview and the predicted lineup. Manchester City against Arsenal in what is now the biggest game in the Premier League because of the implications. Over the last 2 years, we are the top two in the Premier League. As it stands right now, we are the top two in the Premier League. And I know it's so early in the season, but it's such a big game. Both sides unbeaten. Man City have won all their games so far. Arsenal, the only points dropped, of course, was that home game against Brighton. That's the only game that we've actually conceded a goal this season. Manchester City have conceded 3. They have more goals. We've not really hit the, goal scoring trail, shall we say. But you've also got to put the matches into context. We've had a very, very difficult start to the Premier League season, and we knew this. And Manchester City, they were playing a very, very new Chelsea side on the opening day of the season. Probably a good time to be playing them. And then they've had the likes of Ipswich, West Ham, Brentford. So you've got to look at that and say, favourable games that they will most likely win. Brentford last time out, they actually went behind in the first minute, and in the opening 15-20, they could have been 2 or 3-0 down. Brentford were very, very good. But Erling Haaland, as per usual. And then you look at our fixtures and the fact that we've played a Brighton side that have been flying at the start of the Premier League, Aston Villa away, Tottenham away, and now Manchester City away. And of course, we did have Wolves at home on the opening day, but it's a tough run of fixtures. And even in midweek, where Manchester City are at home on Wednesday against Inter Milan, we're away to Atalanta on a Thursday. So they're going to have an extra 24 hours rest, and they haven't had to do any travelling. But we can't make excuses. It's a big game. I don't think we need much in terms of team talk. I think when we watched the Arsenal documentary on Amazon, it was very evident that Mikel Arteta likes to bring things up that have been said about the club, the players, etc. by an opposition manager or player from a previous season. Now, we all know that we went to the Etihad last year. We got a draw. And there was a lot of talk about we should have gone there and gone for the win and all the rest of it. And Rodri, it was, that spoke about our mentality, that we didn't go there with the mentality to win. We just wanted a draw. So I feel that Mikel will use that as part of his team talk. Go there and show what kind of mentality you do really have. In terms of personnel, of course, we're going to be missing Martin Odegaard, and we are for a while now. But from what we're hearing, Man City are going to be missing Kevin De Bruyne. Came off injured in the Champions League in midweek, and apparently he's not going to be ready for this game. So that's a big miss for them. And yeah, listen, the difference is with Man City that, they got the likes of Gundogan and Foden, etc., that can come and fill that void. Whereas we're kind of, square pegs, round holes at the moment kind of thing. But yeah, that's a big player missing for them. Erling Haaland, of course, is the player that we've got to keep quiet. Last season, we kept him very quiet. We actually didn't concede a goal against Manchester City in both Premier League games. And I think they registered less than 5 shots on target over the course of the 2 games as well, which is phenomenal in terms of defensive stability and the stats there. But listen, we're going to have to go out and do the job, and we're going to have to, be very concentrated for 90 minutes. And with that said, let's go and get into the lineup. Starting off in goal, David Raya. Been absolutely immense this season already. Superb. And you know what they say about, teams that are going to go on to win Premier Leagues and whatnot? You need a top-class goalkeeper. a goalkeeper that can win you more than 10 points a season. Big goalkeeper. And he's absolutely flying at the start of this season. So, yeah, very straightforward. Right back position, Ben White. Haven't been overly impressed with him the last couple of games. I do think we are getting very close to the point we might have to have the conversation about Jurrien Timber coming in at right back and Calafiori at left back. But for the moment, Ben White, he will stay in the right back position. Right centre back, William Saliba, Rolls Royce. Absolutely immense and very straightforward. Left centre-back Gabriel was very good against Haaland last year. Very touch-tight. Didn't let him have a sniff at the Etihad. And he's going to need to be on it again, that's for sure. Left-back Jurrien Timber. Like I said, I feel Calafiori, especially when I watched his performance in the Champions League, very, very good. And you ain't going to be able to keep him out of the side for long. But for this one, I feel Jurrien Timber will keep his place. And I think that was evident in the fact that he came off and everything else. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. Midfield, first of all, Thomas Partey. Not happy with his performance on Thursday. Not happy with the way he got spun for the penalty. But again, the fact he was taken off, I feel that's with this game in mind and he will start it. On the right-hand side, Bukayo Saka, very, very straightforward as well. Again, a player that came off with 20 minutes or so to go. Could be one or two things with all of them, really. That it was poor all round, but also with this game in mind. Next to him, I feel it will be Trossard. Again, in that kind of number 10 role, shall we say. Martin Odegaard's position. What I will say is that Trossard picks up some superb positions, but his end product has been dreadful. And on Thursday when he came on, it was dreadful. That needs to be sorted out, especially for a game of this size. Alongside him, Declan Rice, very, very straightforward decision. On the left-hand side, I'm actually going to go with Raheem Sterling to start the game. Martinelli missing chances, looks low in confidence. What he does do well is the defensive side. So I wonder whether Mikel will pick him for that reason. But I feel that Sterling will be able to do the job. Sterling is a big game player. Played for Man City. He will want to prove a point. He's only played about 27 minutes of football so far over the first 2 games he's been here. So I feel he may well start this game. And then up front, as the main striker, Kai Havertz. Put him back in that central role, not midfield or anything else. Cause problems. And I feel that Manchester City are there and are vulnerable from certain phases. If you can, entice them into the press and you play around them, and we are more than capable of doing that, then they are vulnerable in behind. Inter Milan did it a few times on Wednesday. And it was Mkhitaryan that had a really big chance. And that was all because they enticed Man City in a few passes. And I'm not talking loads. We're talking 2 or 3 passes and bang, they're in. So if we're good with the way we play, we can exploit them. And we're going to need that kind of moment again. We had one last year. When it was Trossard that went through. Really poor execution. And what we need to do is that if we do get an opportunity like that, we have to be clinical and we have to take it. Because if we can pick up 3 points here at the Etihad, that would be a massive statement of intent. So we're going to see what happens. Very, very interesting game. Going to be a very tactical game. And we'll see what happens. So listen. If you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you let me know in the comment section whether you agree or disagree with the lineup, what do you think, tactics, etc. And of course, if you're new around here, like I said, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you a lot soon. I'm out of here.